You are recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ready.
So I will continue about my presentation. Last time we saw the importance of, and not just the importance, but a necessity to conjugate some politics by government to avoid the number of prisoners in the United States, because the mass incarceration creates to a lot of problem for government, because the mass incarceration costs a lot for government and for entire society, not just for people who was in prison. I think the mass incarceration promotes problem for entire society. Because the mass incarceration in this case create a problem for entire criminal justice system in the United States. So last time I finished my presentation, and I said that I will defend a point of view. This point of view no is new, because some researcher, and it includes Alicia Goffman, defends that mass incarceration is has with a target mean black community and Latino community. If we consider the percentual of American population, we can see that black community and Hispanic and the black community represent the population of prison in United States. Why? Because just Hispanic and black commit a crime in the United States? Of course no. Of course no. And but the law and the criminal justice system in the United States punish more black and the Latinos than other groups. So in my point of view, I agree in an idea defended by this professor, Michelle Alexander, who published in 2005 The New Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness. Jim Crow was a set of a law that United States had after abolish slavery in the United States. During the beginning of colony until the middle of the 19th century, United States had slavery. After that, after a civil war in the United States, the government prohibits the slavery in the United States, but they maintain a set of law that permits black and Latino and another color, they said colored people. It's a strange concept, but they use now, they include colored people. So the Jim Crow was the type of law that no gave civil rights by person, the colored person. Jim Crow creates segregation, school segregation, neighborhood segregation, space in the United States. I think that you know that about some type, Rosa Parks example. It's a human who in 1953, I think, but during the 50s, she no accept stand of the seat in the bus, and because she was jailed, she was
imprisoned, or
she was imprisoned.
She was in prison.
After that, the civil rights movement in the United States that had Martin Luther King and a lot of things who fight against Jim Crow law, or the set of law that prohibits some person to have the rights to be free, or really free. After that, after the 1968, 1969, we can consider that Jim Crow was prohibited in the United States. But after the Jim Crow was prohibited in the United States, it started mass incarceration. So if you consider a black community and Latino community in the United States, they always suffer a type of injustice in the United States, including nowadays. If you consider the population of the two groups. Pay attention here, please. According to this data, the population in the United States, the white population in the United States today, represents 64% of the entire population. But when do you look for, when do you look at to the incarcerated population, they represent almost 40%. But when do you look for black community, they represent just 13% in population, but on the other hand, they represent 40% of incarceration population. For me, and I think for you, it is proof that the mass incarceration has a purpose. Because let's see another information about Hispanic community. They represent 16% of population in the United States, and they represent almost 20% incarceration population nowadays. So if you consider just Latino and black community, foreign plus 20%, it represents 60% of population in the prison population in the United States. But if you consider the quantities of black and Hispanic nowadays in the United States, They represent 35% of population. It's a problem. Thank you.
5 minutes. Don't forget the discussion questions.
Okay, so we have a problem. We have a distortion in this data. So I agree that like Michelle Alexander, who is professor, advocate, lawyer, and professor in let me see where she is professor in
Civil rights things.
no let me see.
Stanford Law School.
Stanford, Moritz
No,
College.
he studied in Stanford, but now she is professor associate College of Law at the Ohio State University nowadays. But in the past, she taught in Stanford and the other university too. She wrote this book. This book was well accepted by thinkers in the United States because she gave proof, she gave data, she gave information, real information, to defend her point of view that mass incarceration is the new Jim Crow, is the new set of law that prohibits, that condemn, that maintain Latino and Black community nowadays in the United States like a prisoner, like a trouble. Ours are viewed like a trouble. I think you saw the last debate when the question was made by Donald Trump about violence in the United States. They just spoke about Black and Latino community. Hillary too, but Hillary was, in my opinion, was more prepared to discuss, to speak about this question, but we can't remember that Hillary Clinton said that our Black kids were like a predator, because the conception, a predator,
cockroach, that's what they call it.
Monster. So
When she said that?
yeah,
She was a lady, 1990 something. She called them a cockroach. You depend on what
She
they are.
called them cockroaches?
Yes.
What's that?
Cockroaches.
Bugs? Insects?
Oh.
Parang.
stop time.
Yeah, bring on the questions for people.
Okay. So I think it's very interesting. It's the symbol of Black Panther movement, who's created in 1968. Nowadays, this year, Black Panthers is made 6th year that this group was founded in the United States. Very important. And don't keep calm. More Black men are in prison today than was enslaved in 1850. It's a very, very strong information.
Yeah.
And it's this information was in book of Michelle Alexander. So I have a question for you. I have this question. Is there in the United States today a fetish of a prison? Do you know fetish?
Yeah.
Yeah? Everybody know? Fetish is a thing that you believe, that you agree in some time. This thing make you strong do you believe that thing make you strong? If I have a iPhone, example, I can be more talkative, I can be handsome, so my iPhone is my fetish. Okay?
Synonym of faith?
Sorry?
No.
Is it synonym of faith?
No. A fetish is an obsession, something that you
Yeah.
feel like you need.
Good. Yeah. Or exploitation, or if mass incarceration today in the United States is like exploitation of the arrested work. Do you know this question? I propose that you think in two ways. If mass incarceration today in the United States is a petition, is an obsession, or if mass incarceration in the United States is just to exploit of the arrested work. Because why I propose this question? Because if you look for, it's the phrase of former governor of Oregon State, Kevin McPhee. She spoke times ago. Oregon State Representative Kevin McPhee recently urged Nike, the company, to cut its production in Indonesia and bring to the United States, it to his state, Oregon, telling the shoe manufacturer that there won't be any transportation cost. Why? Because they or he was offering competition prison labor. Okay, so in some prison in the United States, the prisoner worked hard for low salary. They receive in some case, they receive 20 cents per hours to work in the prison. If sometimes they receive $2, it's a good salary. It's the best salary in the prison. They receive sometimes $2 per hour to work in the prison.
So Abner, maybe go back to the question now.
Okay. So to give more support for you, for give just more support.
You're
for
over
you.
time.
Okay?
You're over time. I want to hear other people talk too.
At least 37 states have legalized the contracting of prison labor by private corporation.
My God.
That mount their operation inside state prison. The list of such company contains the cream, the best company, the cream of USA Corporation Society. BAM, Boring, Motorola, Microsoft,
All of them.
each company used work like this company use prisoner like work and pay low salary, and his profit. This company have arise his profit. So now think about this question. Is there, you say today, a fetish of a prison or exploitation of arrest wards? What do you think?
I think the USA has the best prison in the world. If you will see in other prisons like in Soviet Union, Russia, and all countries for Soviet Union, I think in your country, in Colombia, everywhere.
But not in the world, Prince.
The prison in
Not
the
in the world.
US is like
Not the best.
paradise for another people from prison in other countries. I know that because I know people who were in the prison in the United States. They told like prison in the United States much better than many countries in the freedom.
I think the question now is the quality of a prison.
There is no
but hold on. But the how do you say motivo is
Motivation.
sorry?
Motivation.
Motivation. Yeah, thank you. I think the question, the main question here, no is the quality of a prison, but the motivation who government put a lot of people in prison.
And the
Because
quantities of prison, not just the total of people inside the prisons, but they pop up everywhere. We have public, we have private, and then within each prison there are all different sectors of prison as well, right?
Yeah, but they take him because they do crime. They don't take, oh, you are not beautiful, let's go.
Okay. Okay.
They do crime.
Let's
Okay.
let's hear from other people
If they will
too.
not doing crime, nobody gonna take it.
Let me give you an information.
No. Let other people talk too. Okay, I'm sorry, Abner.
Right.
Discussion, right? Discussion. Go ahead, someone else. It's like you can write on it. That's great.
If I understand, the prison is the contemporary mode for slavers.
Yes.
No, not just me. Not just I.
No, yeah, the sadistic.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
just.
because if you talk about the, for example, technology company,
Yeah.
all the company there wasn't technology company.
Yeah.
Wasn't wireless, wasn't antivirus, or in their own compact, And how can kind of job that men can do? Maybe on the construction, maybe on the, I don't know. I don't know, but for me, it's another kind of exploitation. It's another kind, and in the same way,
Yeah, of
it's a
course.
fetishism.
Yeah.
It's a fetishism because I think, well, we're talking about that. How you can say you are incarceration, or if you don't have your juicio,
Judgment.
for years, for years,
Yeah.
for years, you are waiting that kind of years.
Yeah.
Judgment, yeah, the sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's we need to think about
I
that.
think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
According to the pies that you show,
According to?
the pie, how do you
Pie
call
charts?
the pie,
Pie
chart
graphs?
you show us? It seems like the black community and the Latinos are the most affected ones because
Yeah.
of the they are fetishes.
Fetishism.
Yeah. So and you say that they are gaining only $2 for as maximum.
Yeah.
As maximum.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of exploitation because they are not paying what they are supposed to get.
Well, and the problem with that, though, is not just that we're exploiting them as they're in prison, but they're not gaining money so that when they get out of prison, they can be successful, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. I have to comment.
I
Oh,
think
no, Jimmy, wait, Sally was talking.
Okay.
On the list. Wait.
You're next, my friend.
Sorry. Just for us to get a clear picture, we need to compare with other countries.
Yeah.
Because you give us only statistic in the United States.
Yeah.
We don't know about the other country. Maybe is it the same? Maybe is it inherited? I don't know about Europe. What's the percentage of black and white in the prison in Asia country? I think if you bring comparison, it will be more clear for us. For the question, maybe I am with the first choice, because prisoner, if they are working, is better than if they are sit without work. They
Sorry?
will earn, for the prisoner
Yeah.
in the prison, they have to work because they will earn money, and to help them just to be not alone in the prison.
Yeah.
So it's good for them, even if they pay less than
That's an extra.
outside.
But I think all of them watched the video. Alicia Hoffman.
Yeah.
I think do you remember about the case of the guy
kids.
who was for prison because they fought in the school?
Yeah, it's a 16-year-old.
Yeah, 16-year-old. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
So when do you think about crime? What crime? Crime for who? So one person in the black community, in the poor community, fought in the school, and because they was put in the jail. She said, in my neighborhood, she said, in my school, this type of fights, it's no crime. She said, if a cop look at for some guys in my community, my rich place, when they go to the party or to school, the cop will find a lot of type of drug.
Yeah, the same thing in Providence College. It is Catholic college. It is white college. They're all people are rich and white. And there is always a lot of police, and they take drugs, take people, put them in car. It's not only about black people. Or
So
about bad universities. Providence College, Community College. It's one of the. I know because
Exactly.
I'm driving Uber at night. I see how they do that. It's
Exactly.
not only about black people.
Well,
So,
and then,
but-
but the question I think remains is: are those white kids that are being busted for drugs getting the same punishment, getting the same sentence
Yeah.
as blacks and Latinos that are busted?
Maybe
for
they
the
don't
same
have enough
punishment?
money to get a good lawyer.
No,
Maybe that's the
sometimes,
reason.
sometimes they don't have trail. Do you look the
Think
Do you
about
look-
our conversation the other day where we talked about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and everyone's right to having a fair and timely trial, right? And that no one should have to sit in jail for any extended period of time while awaiting a trial or awaiting a sentence, right? Everyone has the right to a lawyer even if they don't have the monetary funds.
I don't think that now in the United States, black people have less what's it?
right?
Rights than white people.
So-
now in the United States, the more rights has black people, gay people.
So do you need study more?
No.
Definitely.
No.
Definitely. Do you need to study more? Definitely. Because the statistics don't show it. The statistics appear that
Life shows it.
no.
Yeah.
So I think your conception of life is teeny in your place.
Can I say something?
Alipio has a question.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well-
Please.
About the disparity
Disparity.
Disparity. Yeah. Yeah.
between races is not only physical in America, unfortunately, but also economic. I don't know if you guys read it the other day in the magazine. I believe there's a case of the guy who football player was protesting. They say, no, he's rich. He cannot protest because he's rich. And again, the other day, I give an example where you walking in some community, you get like call, they call police for you because you look strange in my community. And the question is, again, like the speaker said, what's her name again? The speaker? Alicia. She said in the last 40 years how the prison population grew up so much. 70%. Not 20.
I think it was 700.
100%.
Yeah.
700%. Yeah. And again, when you look at the population, who's the population? Italian. And they grew up exactly in that period when they created that law called contempt law. It was fighting people, they say, calling using drugs. Contempt law was designed to put minority people on prison. This is designed for purpose. It's not because that is on purpose. And actually, in this book they talk about that. The Columbus in the African Holocaust. They talk how the prison became like something to keep people out in society, clean, dirty people in society. That's what they call it. I'll put you in jail, and also jail became something way to make money. Like I was telling you the other day, there's a corporation jail called G54. It's the third biggest corporation in the planet after Walmart and Costco. Had something $180 billion in 1 year just for putting people in jail. And they all over the planet. So this case in America for me, and not only me, but it's been proven that is clearly Italian race right there.
And so I think that it's important to add here, right? We all are in very different communities, depending where we're living in the state of Rhode Island, depending where we grew up, right? Racism is a prominent issue in almost every part of the world, I would argue. But I think what we have to see is that there's a connection between the racial divide and the socioeconomic status of a person. And I grew up in a middle-class, white, suburban neighborhood. I hardly ever saw any police in my neighborhood, and why would I, right? There was nothing happening, right? It was very calm. But that is a very different experience than students that are growing up in inner cities, right? In the south side of Providence, right, off of Broad Street. That's a very different experience. They're well acquainted with the police because they're there all the time, right? And there's a heightened police presence because they say that there are more crimes. But coincidentally, blacks and Latinos are the ones that are dwelling in those neighborhoods. Those lower income neighborhoods is not filled with white people. And that's the truth of our state of Rhode Island. And it's not true everywhere. But there is a direct correlation between the amount of police within any given neighborhood and the demographic of the people living in that neighborhood. There's a divide for wealth. And so I think a lot of people don't want to accept that it's, that racism is a prominent issue in our society. And a lot of people say, like, I'm colorblind, right? So this will be my final point on this is, the whole thought of color blindness. A lot of people say, I don't see color, right? I look at you, you're all the same to me. I don't see color, right? But there's a huge issue in the fact that people are saying they don't see color. Because in not seeing color, you're not seeing historical struggle. You're not seeing socioeconomic disadvantage. You're not seeing the things that you maybe don't feel comfortable calling out and recognizing, right? So this is an issue that I think we have to continue to think about and that we have to continue to discuss with one another, and particularly people that come from different places. Different places that come from different economic structures. Like, the more we talk about this, the more we can alleviate the situation.
Also, the author of the video, she said that she has that experience in her life, that she saw many people because she lives in a neighborhood where they arrest every day and they are talking about their own experience. She's talking about her own experience, so she saw those cases. So it's not nothing about that she's just supposed to be something. It's something that happened, really happened.
Jimmy, You have a question?
Jimmy had something. And Jimmy, you're going to be our final point for tonight, okay? Because no pressure, but we do have to do other things tonight, okay?
Okay, I wanted to talk about the question. I think the problem is not that the people in prison work. I think it's they have been explored, but I think it's a good idea that the people in prison have something to do. Because I imagine I'm in prison all the time without any tasks, anything to do.
You get the question.
But they can learn new skills. They can, if they were very paid, I think that's the problem.
I agree with you, but you need to understand the spirit of the thing. I think the spirit of this issue is if the prisoner has or not something to do. The main question is why some people is considered prisoner or not. I agree if some prisoner have to do something to have something to do. But the question is why some people are considered prisoner. Because if I know committed a crime, imagine if you was put in jail without committed a crime. Sometimes it's happened. I was put in jail, but I know committed a crime. And in the prison, I work hard and the last salary in bad condition to give a profit for two groups of company, GAO and CCA is the two groups that control all prisons in the United States. They receive a lot of money of government, states. This money, this profit is given by states. Year by year, they have revenue, includes in the age of Christ, during the crisis in the United States in 2008, in 2009, in 2010, they have a lot of profit because they receive by government. It's the same company who pay them to exploitation some prison that in some case don't commit a crime. Some prisoners don't commit a crime. Okay? I think it's the essential of this institute. Thanks so much.
Beautiful.
You didn't talk about the female prison.
No, that's a topic for another day.
But just remember that
I have a